Humans have a knack for finding things to chew on. Gum, tobacco, even our fingernails get the treatment. But few things have a history as long and entangled with human culture as the betel nut. This little nut from the Areca catechu tree has been a social staple for over 2,000 years. Imagine a map stretching from Asia down through Southeast Asia and out to the Pacific Islands. That's the betel nut stomping ground. At first, it was all about rituals and ceremonies. People would offer it to guests as a sign of respect, like a handshake you chew. It wasn't just politeness, though. The betel nut gave people a little boost, made them feel more alert and energized. Think of it like the coffee of its time, but with the side of cultural significance. Fast forward to today, and the betel nut is still a big deal. It's so ingrained in some cultures that saying no to it is like refusing someone's grandma's cooking, a social faux pas. Every superhero has their sidekick, and for the betel nut, that sidekick is arecaline. This tiny chemical is what gives the betel nut its kick. Arecaline works its magic by messing with our brain's chemistry. It's like a key that fits into certain receptors in our brains, triggering a chain reaction of effects. Some people compare the feeling to a mild caffeine rush. You get a boost of energy, feel more alert, and maybe even a little happy. But like that friend who's fun in small doses, too much arecaline can turn on you. Headaches, dizziness, and even nausea can creep in if you overdo it. And in the long run, arecaline can be a real troublemaker for our bodies, especially our digestive systems. Our digestive system is like a well-choreographed dance. Food goes in, gets broken down, nutrients get absorbed, and the rest gets, well, you know the rest. The betel nut, with its trusty sidekick arecaline, jumps right into this dance floor, but not always gracefully. First stop, the mouth. Remember that flood of saliva you get when you think about your favorite food? Betel nut chewing takes that to a whole new level. It's like the salivary glands go into overdrive, producing so much spit you could probably drown a small rodent, not that you should. This might seem harmless, even refreshing, but over time all that extra saliva can irritate the delicate lining of your mouth. In the short term, chewing betel nut might seem like no big deal. You get a little buzz, your mouth feels clean, even if it's swimming in saliva. And maybe you feel more energized. It's like that first cup of coffee in the morning, getting you ready to face the day. But just like that coffee habit can lead to stained teeth and caffeine jitters, betel nut's long-term effects are nothing to smile about. Remember that irritated mouth lining? Over time, that irritation can turn into something more serious. The tissues in your mouth can actually start to change, becoming thick and fibrous. This condition, called oral submucous fibrosis, is like having your mouth slowly turn into leather. Not only is it uncomfortable, but it can also make it difficult to eat and talk. And as if that wasn't bad enough, oral submucous fibrosis is also a major risk factor for oral cancer. Section 5. Arecaline's journey through you. Let's follow arecaline on its journey through your body. Picture a theme park ride. That's what it's like for this little molecule. You pop a betel nut in your mouth and the ride begins. Immediately, arecaline starts getting absorbed through the lining of your mouth, hitching a ride on your bloodstream. It's like hopping on a roller coaster, zooming through your circulatory system. The liver, your body's detox center, tries to break down arecaline as quickly as possible. But like a sugar rush, the effects are felt quickly and intensely before fading away within a couple of hours. And just like that roller coaster ride, what goes up must come down. Arecaline and its byproducts are flushed out of your system, mainly through your pee. But the memory of the ride, the potential damage to your mouth and digestive system, can linger long after the last chew. Section 6. More than just a chew culture, money, and betel nut. The betel nut isn't just a chew toy for our mouths, it's woven into the fabric of many societies. In countries like India and Papua New Guinea, offering betel nut is a sign of hospitality, like handing someone a cup of tea or a cold beer. It's used in religious ceremonies, weddings, and even funerals. Imagine refusing a piece of wedding cake at a friend's wedding. That's what it can feel like to decline betel nut in some cultures. It's a social symbol, a way to connect with others, and a part of their heritage. But the betel nut isn't just about tradition, it's big business too. Farmers depend on its cultivation, vendors sell it on street corners, and entire economies are built around this little nut. This makes regulating its use tricky. Banning betel nut would be like taking away a cultural icon and disrupting livelihoods. Section 7. Could this nut hold the key to new medicines? While the betel nut might be public enemy number one for oral health, scientists are starting to uncover some potential benefits. Remember arecoline, the chemical that causes all the fuss? It turns out that this molecule might have a good side too. Early research suggests that arecoline, in carefully controlled doses, could have therapeutic potential. For example, scientists are exploring its use in treating Alzheimer's disease, a debilitating brain disorder. Arecoline seems to boost certain brain chemicals that are crucial for memory and learning, which are often impaired in Alzheimer's patients. It's like giving those brain cells a much-needed jumpstart, but there's a catch. Remember those side effects we talked about, the addiction potential, the damage to the digestive system? Those are serious concerns that scientists need to address before arecoline can be considered a viable treatment option. Section 8. The Betel Nut Dilemma: Tradition versus Health. The betel nut presents a complex dilemma. On one hand, it's a cultural cornerstone, a symbol of hospitality and a source of income for millions. On the other hand, it's a known carcinogen, wreaking havoc on our mouths and digestive systems. So, what's the solution? Unfortunately, there's no easy answer. Simply banning betel nut would be ignoring its cultural importance and economic impact. It would be like trying to erase centuries of tradition with the stroke of a pen. But ignoring the very real health risks is like handing out ticking time bombs. Section 9. What now? Balancing act between culture and well-being. We need a balanced approach, one that respects cultural traditions while protecting public health. This means raising awareness about the risks of betel nut use, especially among young people who might be tempted to try it. Think graphic warning labels on cigarette packs, but for betel nuts. It also means providing support for betel nut farmers and vendors to transition to other crops or businesses. And for those who choose to continue using betel nut, promoting harm reduction strategies like chewing in moderation and avoiding tobacco can help minimize the risks. The betel nut dilemma is a reminder that sometimes the answers aren't simple. It's about finding a way to honor tradition while safeguarding health, a delicate dance between culture and well-being.